Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another weekly episode. Happy holidays everybody. I've got some pretty cool stuff to share with you as usual. So we're just going to get right into it here because we got a lot to look at indeed. Alright, let's start with, I kind of got this organized by brand-ish, maybe? No, I guess I really don't. Well, I got a super treasure hunt. Lambo. That is sweet. Glad to check this one off the list. I had got it from my buddy Todd. He had an extra one, and I purchased it from him. So I have the Lamborghini Super Treasure Hunt. I've also found the blue Lamborghini Miura as well. So we will take a look at this. I've also got, of course, the main line of this. I've already opened, but, you know, we'll take a look at both of those. We had my monthly Diecast meet last weekend, and I did pick up a couple of things there, and they're kind of peppered in here. I picked up this Boulevard 77 Pontiac Firebird. I already have one of these, but I think mine has some issues, so we're going to open up. This one's already pretty much, it's coming open already. Whoa, almost dropped it. So we'll open up that one the rest of the way and take a look at that. I picked up a couple of these at the meet. I already have it, of course, but you know, anytime I see these and they're like $5 or less, or $5 to $7 each, I'll probably just pick them up because this thing is sweet. So don't need to open those because I already have them open. And then I got two Ultra Reds. I got the Corvette, and I got the Toyota Supra. So, pretty cool there to grab two Ultra Reds, get those off the list. Now, there's some interesting stuff going on with this release. 2022 Release 2. And the interesting thing that I'm talking about is surrounding these two Ultra Reds. So, stay tuned for some more Auto World nerd stuff in the second segment of this video. All right. Moving on, I got, what else did I get from the meet? I picked up this Kaido House. It's the Kaido House wagon in Advan livery, so I got that. So we'll take a look at that. I've already opened it. It's not a chase, but whatever. And then I think that's all I've got that I'm showing from that. I got a box from my buddy Diecast in the mail from Romania. And he sent me a bunch of Majorette. Now I picked out just a few of them to look at. A couple of them we'll save for another video. But he did ship me the Lamborghini Countach. He actually got me two of these. So we're gonna open up one of those. So the Countach, that's pretty cool. I didn't have that casting yet, so I was excited for that. And then Dacia 1300 in two different liveries. I think this is a new model for Majorette. And then we got a Dacia Duster. I don't know what that says on the side, but that's pretty cool. And then he also sent me some chocolate. He sent me a bunch of these bars. They're pretty good. Two or three of them or whatever. I think he sent me 4 total. 3 of them are consumed already. So that gives you an idea. I saved one for this video. Maybe I'll indulge in this evening. All right, so there's that. And then I picked up another couple things from Todd. Like when I got that Super Treasure Hunt, I also snagged this from him. It's just a Porsche 959 in this weird match caps. I don't know if these are like Pogs or what. If you guys remember Pogs, I think that's what these are. It's a Porsche 959. It's all chromed out. Looks a little wild. We'll open that up, check out the Pogs, and I don't know what years this is from. It's got to be from the 90s, right? Copyright date 1995. And then, speaking of Matchbox, we got a Matchbox Collectors Lamborghini Diablo. So that is really cool. Still missing the Ford GT40 and the Toyota MR2. The variations of that, I think there's a few. And then I'll have that set complete. I'm sure I'll find it eventually, so I'm not too worried about it. Then I picked up, Lanley did that MiniGT giveaway on Whatnot when we were seeding for the 64 car tournament. and there was MiniGT in his buy it now cart thing on there. I ended up getting 3 items. I got the Zonda that I did not have. I got this Skyline that I did already have, that I forgot I had. So this is going to be hoarded, actually. I think this is a really nice one to get a duplicate of, just to have for a rainy day. It's limited to 1,200 pieces, and I don't know if they put this out. It says USA exclusive. I'm sure they did put it out. Maybe not the number 12. I don't know if they put it out in the international packaging, or it was just a USA exclusive. I'm not sure. And then I've got this MiniGT Mazda Miata MX-5 tuned version in classic white. I wanted to get one of these tuned version Miatas, so I picked that up. I think that looks pretty nice. So we've got those. So we got some MiniGT to look at. Obviously I'm not going to open up this one. I already have it opened up. And then we've got... Then I just picked up some basic Hot Wheels and a couple of basic Matchbox to look at for this episode. We've got a Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40, a 2020 Corvette, and this weird Citroen AMI. That little thing. Weird stuff. So we'll take a look at these 3 cars. And then I got some Hot Wheels main lines, just a couple of them. We've got, one of these is a 2023 A case, and the other one is a new for 2022, the Hot Wheels kit concept, and it looks like a kit in a car is kind of like what it is. Because car, I think, had like the silver or the white on the bottom or whatever. But we'll take a look at those. And then just Honda Super Cub, little motorcycle. I got in 2 colors here. One of them says new for 2022, or they both do. This was probably Q case, even though it has an A case on it. And this one was J case. So we'll take a look at those 2. And then Audi Sport Quattro. One in blue that was in an A case, but it's probably really a Q case car. And then this one that was K case in yellow. So we'll take a look at those. All right. And I think that's it for this episode. So yeah, we actually got quite a few cars to look at. We're going to open up and take a peek. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week. I may do like a year recap episode. We'll see how much time I have during the week to kind of put something together that's a little different than a Diecast Weekly episode. Maybe I'll do a Diecast Weekly episode and then do a separate video on a year-end recap. I'm not really sure. I took a bunch of pictures for like my top 10 castings of the year and top 10 acquires of the year for lamleygroup.com, which I'm hoping to get an article done by New Year's Eve. It's just, you know, time comes at a premium for us all these days. And, well, maybe not even just these days, maybe all the time. It just feels like it's, I don't know, I'm doing the same amount of stuff, but for some reason it feels like I'm just busier. So whatever, just excuses. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll go through all this stuff. So keep her tuned. I'm gonna flip the camera around. Let's get cracking. All right, stay tuned. All right, guys, let's start actually by looking at some of the mainline cars that I have here, and we're gonna start with these kit concept cars. Pretty interesting. So it says it's upgraded from the original series classic car. The custom kit has a drone technology and bulletproof glass polished inside and out. It's ready for any mission ahead. Kind of a neat idea, I guess. It does look pretty cool, actually. So it's kind of like a fantasy casting, but it is sort of licensed as Knight Rider. I don't know. Are we going to see this kit concept car come out in like a reboot of the show? I don't know. I noticed something a little weird about this casting just looking at it here. It's got that slot in the bottom. I wonder what that's for. It almost like seems like it's meant to almost like light up. So I'm just taking a look at this. I don't know. That is kind of interesting. I think that's what that might be actually for. Is that... Anybody else know? I think it actually lights up front too. Let's open up the other one real quick. This one actually has an orange. Maybe I'll have to turn the lights off in here and take a peek, but this one's actually way translucent here on the front end. And yeah, it like lights up when you put like a flashlight underneath it. That's interesting. I wonder if that's really what that slot's for. It's not like noted anywhere on the packaging from what I can tell. But that is kind of interesting. So yeah, this one is car, and this one is kit. So that is pretty cool. I like it. I like this casting. I like this concept. I think it's pretty nice looking fantasy casting. So this top bit is mostly all plastic. Actually, it is all plastic. And then you got a metal body, plastic base. Kind of interesting construction. And I think it's pretty cool. So for like a fantasy model, I think these are pretty neat. So I'm digging that. Digging those. Pretty cool. All right. Next, let's take a look at the Honda Super Cub. Which one came first? This one, I think, right here. I don't normally pick up the motorcycles, but for some reason I wanted to get these. I don't know why. It's nice to have a little example, I guess. Doesn't really stand up on its own. Mostly metal. Plastic bit right here for the fender. Oh, there it goes. I don't know. I mean, it's a little motorcycle. Honestly, could take it or leave it. I'm not sure why I really even picked these up. I thought they were kind of cool. It's new for 2022. So here it is in red and white. I prefer the black and red one a little bit better. But yeah, definitely not 1/64 scale. They are much larger. But yeah, there's those. Not much really else to say about them. Like I said, I don't normally pick up the motorcycles and stuff, but I guess it's kind of cool that they do them. What do you guys think about the motorcycles? Did you pick up that one? Did you? Casting, I really like this 84 Audi Sport Quattro. First one in yellow here. This one is a K case, is what's on this card. Whether or not it debuted in K case, I do not know. And then we got the follow-up in blue, which this one's 180 out of 250. Yeah, so this one is on a, this is supposed to be likely Q case, is when it originally appeared. I like this casting quite a bit. It's one of my, the Super Treasure Hunt that came out of this in red is one of my favorite Super Treasure Hunts of all time. I just love the way it looks. This is a really nice casting. Hot Wheels has been putting out a lot of cool Audis. And this one's pretty nice. You got details on the front, which is pretty cool. Nothing on the back, of course, because we got all this stuff going out on the sides. But pretty decent. Digging these two little models. All right. What should we do next? Well, since we're still in the main line, let's do Super Treasure Hunt. So, of course, we got this one. So this was likely the L case Super. And I think this one might be, I think it was really close. It looked like it was going to win Super of the Year, the Lamley poll. I guess we'll find out during the Lamley award shows. But I think it was pretty close to winning. And it's pretty awesome. So we've got the first release, of course, in orange. They may have this recolor in blue. Decent. Not the best Mira casting out there. This definitely wasn't probably my favorite Super of the Year, but it's still a pretty cool one. But here you go. Super Treasure Hunt. We're going to go ahead and open it up, of course, as we always do. We're going to free the piece on this Super Treasure Hunt. Of course, you got your Circle Flame logo right there. And there you go. And there you are. So Spectraflame Orange. I don't think I have many Spectraflame Orange Supers. It says it's good for the track. The original cars. It's all right. I don't know. This casting, I will admit, I'm not a huge fan of it. I definitely needed to get it just because it's a Lamborghini and it's a super treasure hunt. I collect Lamborghini Hot Wheels. So, and I have all the other Lambo Supers so far. So I had to add this one to the collection just to keep that trend going. But I don't know. The Lambos they've been picking to do supers of haven't been that fantastic. They did that like SVJ, what was it, Roadster thing or whatever it was. That it was orange too. I don't remember what it is, but it's one of the ugliest looking Lambos. And then they did that the Mira homage. That was awesome. So I really did like that one. Has that been it so far? Has there been just 3? I'm guessing we're going to see a Lamborghini Super almost every year now. We should. I hope we do. That would be cool. But there you go. Lamborghini Mira Super Treasure Hunt. I think this casting, when it originally came out, I think it came out in Hot Wheels ID. I want to say. Then again, I could be wrong because I often am when it comes to Hot Wheels lately because I just haven't been following as close of attention as I used to. All right, let's just get this guy open, this Boulevard, just because it's pretty much open already. And just kind of inspect it. So this is not in fantastic shape either. Got some really weird stuff going on with the windshield. That is really weird. What is that? Luckily, I mean, I really didn't pay much for this. Boulevard 77 Trans Am, but whatever. I'm going to keep probably both of the ones I have. Just because I got a problem, you know. I got to be careful on this ceramic tile now that I've got down here. Just because it stays clean, or it's easier to clean. I don't have to keep replacing paper. I think it looks a little bit nicer too. You guys will have to let me know. See the reflection of the car and stuff. It looks all right. But there you go. There's that one. Nothing too special or nothing you guys haven't seen before. I think what we'll do next is let's do our Matchbox. We got some Matchbox mainline. We've got the Citroen AMI, which I can only assume is an EV of some sort. I don't know. It's tiny. It's like a smart car. Look at this little thing. It's like, which way is forward? Okay, so those are the headlights. There's the taillights. That is too symmetrical, though, from front to back. What a goofy looking little car. But that's why I had to get it. Because it's just so weird. Goofy looking. I know nothing about the real car, so absolutely nothing about it. I did not bother to look it up or anything like that. I just thought this thing looked really goofy, so I went ahead and picked it up. I mean, and it's teeny tiny. I'm trying to see. Was this a new cast? It was a new casting for this year, which is why it's got 2021 on the base there. It doesn't really roll all that well. Well, maybe it's just because of the surface I'm rolling it on. Anyway, all right, and then we got this one's kind of a fan favorite here, the Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40 for Matchbox. I like the color of this one. It's got a nice looking gray with that sort of Toyota coloring, TRD colors on the side there. I think this looks really nice, actually. Mainline model. We don't get any, it almost looks like the hood should open, but of course it does not. We don't get any front or rear graphic. We do get the top white, and then we have these side graphics. But I think this looks really good. And a lot of people do like this casting from Matchbox, and I guess I'm one of those people. It's been around for a while. What's the copyright date on this thing? 2008. So it's definitely seen quite a few releases, I believe, in that time span. And I think it's pretty nice. So, all right, moving on. We've got the 2020 Corvette. I know this came out in the main line. I don't know if this is local cruisers. I don't know if this casting's any different. I don't know if this color's any different or if there's anything different about it than the original release of this. Because I know the original release of this casting, I believe, came out in this color blue. I did not dig it out, of course, to try to compare. So sorry about that. But, interesting. I don't know. I don't know if there's any difference. Were the original wheels just chrome and maybe these are like that darker chrome? Not sure. We got rear graphics, front graphical representations of headlights. And Matchbox tends to do a really good job of that. So we got deco on the front, deco on the back. That's kind of what you want with a car like this. And I think overall it looks pretty good. I was kind of a fan. I'm a fan of the way Matchbox did their C8 Corvette. I think they did a good job of the casting, and I think it looks really nice. And we got Auto World to look at too with this, which is going to be cool too. All right. Real quick, we got to finish up Matchbox, and then we'll go to Auto World. How about that? So here's a weird one. Definitely weird. Porsche 959. It's a Matchbox casting that I sort of loosely collect. I don't really dive in and try to get every single variation of this car that's come out. But when I do see one that I haven't had in the past, I typically try to get it. And this one is copyright date 1995, as I said in the first part of this video. So likely it came out in 1995 or 1996, and I think these are match caps. I believe these are Pogs. If you guys don't remember Pogs, or if you are too young, I guess, to know what Pogs are, or were, I don't know. Does anybody have any Pogs still? I guess just look it up. It was some weird game with slammers and stuff, and I think that's what these are. They're like bottle cap Pogs. We got the Earth Mover, generic Matchbox, Pontiac stock car, fire truck. And of course, oddly, none of them are this car. I guess that's what it is. Weird chrome. It's metal. I thought this might have had a plastic base. It does not. It's chrome, and it's got some kind of wacky graphic on it. Blue interior, these orange slice wheels, which look a bit weird, and that's really all I can say about that. I got a bunch of different variations of this casting. It's much larger than 1/64 scale. The Hot Wheels one is probably closer to actual 64 than this is. This one is in they put the scale on the bottom of the older Matchbox. This is 158 scale, made in Thailand. I think this original casting was made in Macau when this came out. There you go. Weird 959. All right. We got the Diablo time. I was excited to see that this casting was coming out. So this is a new casting of the Diablo. Now, they've had the Diablo in the past, and I should have got one out to compare to this one to see how close they are to each other. But there was a Diablo that came out in the era, basically, of this car. From Matchbox, but this is I believe, a brand new tooling for Matchbox collectors. This one, of course, has rubber tires. I don't know if we'll ever see this in the main line, and it does have an opening part, I believe. I think the original tooling of this also had an opening part, though, and it was the same opening part that this one has. No opening doors, but we get a rear engine compartment that's going to open, and I'm sure it's going to have some detail under there, being that it's the Matchbox Collector series. And we are about to find out. And yes, there is detail under there, and that is pretty cool. So with Matchbox collectors, we get metal body, plastic base, rubber tires. We get full details around the car. Not many details on this one because it's just supposed to look like a clean version of the model, but we do get rear representation of the tail lights and stuff. We got what's supposed to be the flip-up headlights. I don't know if there's a headlights down version of this. And knowing Matchbox, that would be a possibility. My guess is that would be a possibility. The glass is, or plastic here, is really dark, but you can see that there is an interior in here. You probably can't tell on the video, but in person in this bright lighting that I've got here, I can definitely tell that it is there. Wheels look okay. I'm going to say it's probably not the perfect choice in wheels for this Lambo, but just thinking of what Matchbox has, I don't know if there would have been anything better. And so copyright date 2021, it is a brand new, it's a debut of this tooling, and I should have got out the older Lamborghini Diablo tooling to show you the difference, but sorry about that, I did not do that. But if memory serves, it's pretty darn close. I'm actually peeking to see if I have any of the Diablos on the wall. I don't. So, all right. Well, I don't have anything handy that I can show you. I'm not digging it out. So, again, I'm sorry, but it looks pretty close to that original tooling. I know the original one did not have the pop-up headlights in the front. It did, however, have this. But it was not, I don't think, nearly as detailed underneath. So, I don't know if this is just like a retool or what exactly they did. Pretty neat anyway. I like the Diablo quite a bit. I really hope Tomica Limited Vintage comes out with a Lamborghini Diablo. They've done some Countaches and stuff. I hope they do the Diablo. I really do. I think that would be fantastic. All right. What do we do next? Let's get these Auto Worlds done because we got some weirdness to discuss here. So I got two Ultra Reds here, and you'd think, yay, I'm done with getting the Ultra Red for both the Supra and the Corvette, because generally Auto World does this thing where it doesn't matter whether you get a version A or version B card. The car is always the same when it comes to the Ultra Red, no matter what card you find it on. Now, at least for the Corvette, that is not the case. There's also some weird stuff going on with the Supra. So let's start with the Corvette, because that's, I think, probably easier to wrap your head around. So this is release 2, 2022, release 2. This is version A, so it's on a version A card. The version A car looks like this, okay? Now you notice some differences. We've got striping across the top. We got the standard Ultra Red traits, which are going to be shared, well, for this one, they're going to be shared over both version A and version B models. This one's got Ultra Red interior, Ultra Red body, Ultra Red wheels, and red tires. And that's the traits of this series. And I think the majority of the cars go after the version A car is the traits. But you notice this has the stripes on it, like the version B car. So that's a little different right off the bat. Now, the other weird thing is if you find this Ultra Red on a version B card, it's going to not have the stripes like the version A car. Does that make sense? They're like flip-flopped. So if you find the Ultra Red, this is what I've seen anyway. This is what I've noticed from all the ones I've seen so far, is that you find the Ultra Red on a version A card, it's going to have the version B stripes. You find it on the version B card, it will be sans stripes. It won't have them. It will be after the version A car. I don't know why that happened. I'm not really sure. But that is the case with this one. So let's go ahead and just open this up because I'd have to get it open anyway. But now I'm gonna definitely have to find it on the other card and get it to complete the collection. Which is semi-irritating because now I got to get 2 of this Corvette Ultra Red for this particular series. But it is kind of neat because it is something to talk about. I really do like the way when they do the Ultra Red rims. I think that does look really cool. And this Corvette is pretty neat. Well, if you want to compare, here's the matchy Corvette with the Auto World Corvette. Obviously, the Auto World one I like better, but for a dollar model, I think Matchbox did a great job. Of course, the rear opens on these, and you can see the engine underneath there and through the glass as well. But pretty cool. So there's that Ultra Red. So now, and I told you that was weird. Now let's get into something else. We've got this Supra. So this one is strange as well, and not quite in the same way. There's a variation of this Ultra Red. As you can see, this one follows the traits of the Corvette that we just saw, where it has an Ultra Red body, Ultra Red wheels, red tires, and Ultra Red interior. This happens to be on the version B card. I don't think it makes a difference. Here's the version B car. Okay, and here's the version A, and there really is no difference in these two except for obviously the color of the car. There's like no other thing that would tell the difference. So if these were turned into an Ultra Red like this, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Now, I've seen a few Ultra Reds, and I think they were all on the version A card. I'm not entirely sure, but I think all the ones I've seen that don't follow this were on version A. Now, just to be clear, I've also found this exact, or I've seen on eBay and stuff in my searches, this exact Ultra Red on a version A. Like no difference, nothing at all, everything's normal, fine. But I've also seen on a version, I think it was a version A card, I've seen this Supra Ultra Red without Ultra Red rims, just chrome rims. And it's not just a one-off error. I've seen a few of them posted to eBay. I think that's going to be a rare one that's going to be hard to find. I'm definitely going to have to add it to my collection. But for now, let's just open up this guy. Take a peek at it. And there it is. Very cool. So this one's a very, very deep red. Like it's got very thick paint. I don't know if you can see that on there, or how well you can see it. But super thick red paint. Looks like they spilled some paint on the tire as well, or whatever, from the rim. Maybe they put the tire on when the rim was wet, but this is a very dark Ultra Red. Very cool, though. So very cool to get those two. That's 2 more checked off from that set. I am missing the Trans Am, which is one I definitely want to get out of the way. I'm missing the Shelby GT500, I think it is. I'm missing that one. And then, of course, now I'm missing 2 variations of Ultra Reds, one for the Supra and one for the Corvette. And then I'll have that set complete. Okay? Anyway, yeah, I told you we're going to get into the weeds a little bit on that, and there you go. That's the best I can do to explain it. Hopefully it makes sense. All right, next. MiniGT, Kaido House. I was kind of debating on even picking up one of these. I skipped out on getting the standard 510, the coupe. I just got the wagon in this. And I think, yeah, so like the chase of these, I believe, just has dark chrome rims. This is not the chase. I mean, it does look really nice. It's pretty cool in Advan livery. I like it. I prefer like a more original design livery than just getting one of these with Advan. So this isn't my favorite version of this, but it does look pretty nice, I must say. Still got that kind of signature base, Kaido House base on these. So I'm going to say that does look pretty nice. What do you guys think about that? in Advan livery. Of course, it's a MiniGT, so it rolls nice and all that jazz. It's just a nice, high-quality model. You guys know MiniGT is one of my favorite brands. So enough said on that. All right, we got two more MiniGT to take a peek at. Let's start with this little Miata, and I need a scissors. Where's the scissors? I'm just going to cut this off camera here. Sorry I didn't do this prior. But you guys know, one of the staples of my channel is me struggling with packaging. I'd like to just share that experience with you guys. All right. Mazda Miata MX-5 tuned version classic white. This one's limited to 3,600 pieces, but I believe is not just available through Miho. I believe you can also get it in the international style packaging that does not come with a blister pack, that just comes with a box wrapped in cellophane. And here's the little Miata. I think this is like the 4th version of the Miata I have. I did not have any that was like this cool tuned version, and I think this version is definitely the best one to get. So if you're going to get one Miata, I think this would be the one. Very, very nice. We got, of course, inserted details for taillights, little inserted details up front. This one is headlights down. I don't know if they do a headlights up version of this particular one. They probably do. I actually prefer it, though, with the headlights down. And I like the rims on this one. I think that looks really good. Let's see if I can get this to focus in close. There you go. Very, very cool. Very nice. Rolls really good. It's got the classic. And then in here, if you guys, I know you're probably familiar with it, but I will show you anyway. So this does have the plastic insert inside of this box for storage. So that has a plastic insert that came with the plastic bubble blister packaging, but it also has the plastic insert inside of here, so you can pop this model in here and store it in its box. And that is very awesome that they include that in these as well, just like the international packaging models. That is a very good thing. I'm a huge fan of that. All right, set that one aside, and then we got the Zonda. I've got this Zonda in red, but I think silver I almost prefer. This one also says limited to 3,600 pieces, and again, that's for this US carded version, and I believe you can get this in the international packaging. Rest of world packaging, I guess we should call it, as well. Pull that out. And Pagani Zonda F. I've said it multiple times, Pagani's like my favorite hypercar styling of any, you know, crazy hypercar. I like them better than Koenigsegg's. I like them better than Bugattis. I just think they're beautiful cars. Granted, they haven't come out with really many models, but the Zonda in particular, I think, is one of the most beautiful looking hypercars that has ever been created. Big fan of it, and MiniGT has done a nice job replicating it. Very, very cool. I just love it. It looks like a fighter jet almost, you know. Very cool looking. So I'm definitely digging that. Again, it's a MiniGT, so it rolls. It's metal body, metal base. They got the rubberized mirrors, so you can be a little bit less careful with it. It still has some fragile pieces and bits, but you don't really need to be as careful as you would, say, a like Tarmac Works Hobby 64 model, or like a Inno 64 or something like that. You don't need to be quite as careful. And that gives you a little bit of peace of mind when you have a highly detailed model that, you know, it's not going to, there's not as much risk, I guess, of breaking the model when you take it out, take pictures of it, stuff like that. It gives you a little peace of mind. I like that anyway. All right. What do we got left? We got Majorette left. Something I don't show super often on this channel. I'm trying to figure out these Countachs are different. I'm going to open both of them, actually. Or am I? No, I'm not. One of them seems to have a lot more metal flakage going on than the other. And I don't... Alright, we'll start with this one. So this is Majorette, of course. This is a fairly new casting. I think it might have come out a year, maybe, or two ago. Try to get this bottle open. Yeah, these you can open from the back. I guess I could have just done that instead of trying to rip the blister off. So, as you can see in the package, it has an opening door feature. I don't know. This looks... I don't know. Whatever. Should I open both of them, or should I leave one in the package? I think I'm going to leave one in the package, I guess, for now. I thought... I don't know. It's weird, because this one doesn't look... This other one looks way more sparkly. This one right here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's way more sparkly than this one. Although this one does have the sparkles as well. Door shut's nice. Dare I say the door shut's nicer on these much cheaper Majorette models than it does on the Tomica Limited Vintage Countachs that we've seen so far. You do get some details in the back. You get the kind of an inserted detail in the front, which is actually part of the window piece, I'm guessing. Fairly detailed interior. You can kind of see the mechanism in there that opens and shuts the door. So I think they're just meant to open this far. I don't want to... I thought that was open much further than that. That's okay, though. And being a Majorette, it has like a suspension thing going on, which is also pretty cool. Shut the doors there. And this is pretty sick. I like the Countach. You know, the Countach is one of my favorite cars of all time, of course, because it was a poster car of my childhood, and I've talked about it several times on this channel. Anytime a brand puts out a new Countach, I am into it. I don't care how many brands put it out. I hope you all put it out. MiniGT, do one. Do a Countach. Do it. Do a Countach. Do a Diablo, too, while you're at it. Go for it. And then Tomica Limited Vintage, you need to do a Diablo, and you need to do this version of a Countach. Why not? Just get your opening doors right, or just keep them shut. I'd be fine with that. But yeah, lots of bounce to these models. Majorette is typical bounce. They got like a little suspension system in there, and that's pretty cool. This one's in 1/56 scale, according to the base of the model. All right, time for some Dacia. Dacia Duster. Dacia is a Romanian car company. Collect them all. Looks like they came out with a bunch of Dusters. We've got the Gendarmeria, and I do not know, have no clue at all what that means. No idea. Dan, let me know. Diecast, put it in the comments of the video. It's got lights on it, so I assume it's some sort of like law enforcement vehicle of some type, but there is a policia. There's one of those as well, so I don't know. I don't know. This one has an opening part too. A lot of Majorettes have opening parts. And if we can get it open. There it is. Got an opening hatch. Looks like it's got caged back windows. I wonder if it's like an animal control sort of thing going on. I don't know. Call 1112 or 112. Sorry, not 1112. 112. It's a Duster. So this one's got clear details for the headlights too, which are part of the window piece, which is kind of nice. What kind of scale are we working with on this one? Does it tell you on the Duster? 164. So this is 164 scale. According to Majorette, this is 164 scale of this model. Wheels look pretty decent on this one. Suspension is got some decent amount of travel. In all, it's sort of an interesting model. Definitely the only Dacia Duster that I have in my collection, so it's definitely cool. I love getting some weird stuff like this, or stuff that I wouldn't typically find. Of course, wouldn't find in the U.S. anywhere. And I think that that's pretty neat to get. All right, the next one we get is the Dacia 1300 series. So this one we have in 2 different varieties here, and it looks like it came out in 6 different varieties. Interesting car. I'd like to get the red one. The red one looks kind of cool. But we get one in a militia, and we get one in just a plain old black. Let's look at the civilian model, I guess, is what this would be. This, after I took this out of the package, this looks massive compared to, I'm guessing, what the actual size of the car is. Did they put a scale on this one? Yeah, 1/53rd scale. So it's large. We have opening doors on this particular model. That's pretty cool. I guess they're left-hand drive in Romania. The clear details for the headlights again, as part of the window piece. I always like when more budget-friendly models do that stuff, because it adds a little bit of premiumness, for lack of a better term, to the model itself, which is, I like when they can do that. It's a very intelligent way to use not a lot of parts to get more mileage out of your casting. And then here is the other version in militia. And again, these have suspension. It is, now that I got out of it, is a weird shaped car. I don't know how accurate it is to the real life car, but it's got a weird, kind of interesting silhouette to it, where like it, angles up, and then still the roof kind of angles up a little bit, and it's got this kind of like steep drop off where like the trunk would be. Interesting. Very cool to get this again as well, though, because it's different. It's something very, very different for me to have in the collection. So definitely liking that. All right, and that's going to be it for this episode. Wow, we got a long one. 38 minutes I've been talking on the second half of the video. Ooh. Okay, well, I'm sorry about that. Sorry, I hopefully kept you entertained somewhat. So yeah, probably the most interesting stuff. We got those Dacias. Those are really neat. We've got the Ultra Red weirdness going on, and that's definitely something that's really neat to me. I don't know if you guys are as dorky about it as I am, but, I am. And then, of course, for all of you that dig Hot Wheels, we got a super treasure hunt. It's always cool when we can open up one of those on the channel. All right, thank you guys very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one, and have happy holidays. Later.